question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay, won't look away. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne. So you wanna be my enemy? You should've known I'd never kiss the rain. Ice runs in my veins, won't play it safe. I don't belong with your nobility. Who died and made you king of anything? You think that I'm insane, it's your mistake. Kingdoms rise and fall, I've come to take it all. I'll take it, I've come to take it. Kingdoms rise and fall, I've come to take it all. I'll take it all. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne. I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me royalty. Best to give me loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me royalty. They'll be calling me royalty.
What's going on, folks? Will Stewart here with another late night THFC Rant show. Taking over Tottenham away. It's Will Stewart 365. We are live. 4-2 at the Etihad. It's a disappointing day, not gonna lie. Hugo Blunder starts the capitulation once again. It's 3 losses in a row now. Mr. Hugo Lloris has freaking done something dumb and giving the game away. Hugo. What are we gonna do with you, buddy? I don't know what we're gonna do, but we better do something. Let's see who's in the comments. Here. We got Shaquille Ahmad. Can't wait for tonight's stream. It's going on. We're here right now. And we got some other stuff going on for the day. But let's get the music popping up, going, ready to go. And read some more comments here. He says, I don't know how long we're going to observe, monitor, and assess the situation for buying players in positions we needed 5 years ago. I don't know what to say, my man. I don't know what to say. Except, Sue Smith in the house says, Levy out, Enoch out. I agree. Levy out. Enoch out. Wolves FL. Wait, this Tottenham away streaming 2:30 in the AM. That's right. Will Stewart's taking over Tottenham away. I'm taking it. It's mine. It is what it is. Danny's in the house. We have to get this message out as much as possible. Enoch out. We need our club back. I agree. What else we got? Wolves FL says, cheers it up, Spurs NA edition. What's going on? Why did that stop by itself? We don't want it to stop. We want the music to keep pumping away. The link is pinned to the top. So make sure, if you're watching on Tottenham away, the link is pinned to the top. If you're not watching on Tottenham away, the link will be in the chat shortly over on Will Stewart 365. But if you're watching on Will Stewart 365, head on over to Tottenham away, because then you'll get to watch the full show. Will Stewart 365. We're just starting to merge this show over here onto Tottenham away. We'll still be doing content on Will Stewart 365, so don't give up on us. But this show, the post-match show, the late night THFC Rant show, that's right, that logo right there in the corner of your screen. If this particular show will be moving forward onto this particular channel, so make sure you head over to Tottenham away and subscribe there if you haven't already. Although I'm pretty sure with Tottenham away hitting 9,000 subscribers this week, that if you're subscribed to Will Stewart 365, you're most likely subscribed over here as well. But if you want to join the show, head over to Tottenham away, click the link, StreamYard, and you can come on and have your say. We also got Darv, Hotspur, big up everyone. Levy out, Enoch out. Pyrex the King is in the house. See you in the back there too. Big up, my friend. Big yourself up. Adam Phillip, Enoch out, Conte out. I'm definitely not Conte out. Enoch out, Conte in. That's more my style right there. Scott M's got it right. Lisa's in the house. Big up. Good evening, early morning. Oh, it's definitely evening for us here. It is, let's see, it is 9:42 according to the AV8. Aviate is a British watch brand. It's a good, you know, aviation style watch. Micro brand. If you're into the watch game, then we've also got Jayco in the house. Will, how are you? I am good, my friend. 저는 좋습니다. We got Joan Fitzpatrick. Big up, Will, brother. Big up yourself, my man. Big up yourself. It's not a new camera angle, man. I got camera angles all over the place. Boom, 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 boom. I've always got camera angles, man. I got camera angles for days. Camera angles for days. Alex Burns in the house. Big up yourself, Alex from Texas. What's going on, my man? We got Dub Nation 21M. Last Word on Spurs can hold this L. Yeah, well, I don't watch Last Word on Spurs, so it is what it is. Lewis, what's up, my man? Hi, guys. We're doing good. Roy Park in the house. Blow it all up. I don't know what you want to blow up. Hugo swap for Oblak. I don't. Of course, I take that deal. I don't know if his current club would or not, but it is what it is. Enoch out. I agree. John, big up again, my man. Jay Go. KCW. Will's better than Tottenham away or whatever that channel's about. Well, hey man, it's still there. You're still there, right? It's all good. I don't. What's wrong with Tottenham away? It's my home away from home. It's my new home for all the Tottenham content. Rootin' tootin' shooting Putin's in the house. What's up, my friend? Big up, buddy. Lewis again. Big up, Will. We got Panagotis Kaliotis. I totally just botched your name. I'm sorry about that. If we lose versus Fulham, do you think Conte will get the sack? I don't think we'll lose against Fulham. I don't think we'll lose against Fulham at all. I really don't. Ishak's in the house. Big up, Ishak. Wolves FL. Gina Go. Gina Kim, what's going on? 안녕하십니까? How are you? Hello, Will. I've been seeing Conte out since the beginning of the season when we played shit, but somehow still won games. It was Conte who brought in these new players. It's not like we didn't spend. Is it Conte really that brought in the new players? I mean, I'm sure he brought in some of them, but I don't think it's his fault for all of them. And I'm getting a little bit of a lag, I think. My lip movement is about half a second too short. Might need a computer reset later on once we get the show rocking. But Son needs to go. So does Hugo. I don't know why people are moaning at Son today. He had like 18 touches on the ball. And in those 18 touches, didn't give the ball away a bunch. Like you could say he wasn't, like he was not involved, but neither. The only person in our front three who really had a whole lot of the ball was Kulizeski. And in fact, there were several times when I saw Son making really good runs, completely open, had space on that far side, and the ball just never came. So, I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Too much YouTube drama talk, man. Well, that's YouTube, brother. There's drama talk all over the place. Let's see. I've lost so much emotion for this club. I know, my man. I know you have. Adam Phillip. Who else we got here? Harry Jackson's in the house. I already read that one. But all right, let's start bringing. I don't think that's unpopular. I think it's factual, my man. I think it's factual. But let's start bringing in some of the guests. We'll turn that music off because, you know, this person here has got their own special thing here. And it is what it is. You know.
The darkness that is Tottenham. You guys, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for the one, the only, the person that puts bat in Lego? C Cubed is in the house.
Hey, Will. Hey, everybody. Yeah, not great game, but it is what it is.
Do you put the bat in Lego?
I put the bat in the man and the Lego and the darkness.
Your avatar is too happy.
Well, it's definitely too happy to be a Tottenham fan right now.
It is. But we've got your quick thoughts on the game, and then we'll bring in guest number 2.
I was not even that mad because it was just at this point it's like laughable. But the reason why I came on is because I did start to get mad at some things after the game, and I will talk about it later.
Sounds good. The Mountain Man is here, all the way from the mountains of Virginia in the US of A. Kyrian, Spurs After Dark is in the house.
Yeehaw.
Nobody could hear you because the music was too damn loud.
Oh.
Yeehaw.
It's yeah. Good to see you guys. Good to be with you. Couldn't pick better
consolation prize. Kyrian's consolation prize is that deck he scored, though.
Yeah, that's why I got his picture up. You know, my boy scored. I was really happy, and then I got really sad very quickly. So, but hey, no better people to be on with to talk about all things Tottenham. Let's get it going.
Yeah, we got one more guest in the back who might be even more disappointed with Tottenham's loss today than anybody else. It's our resident Arsenal fan. Pyrex King is in the house.
Wait.
What's going on, man?
Double taps here, man. Digga D, everything, man. You know what I mean? Like, I'm disappointed that you guys bottled it, man. You know what I mean? You got Haalanded, man. And I can't wait for him in February, man.
Did we get Haalanded or did we get Lloris?
I mean, both. Do you know what I mean?
I'm not even kidding, man. Aston Villa, right? The 2-0 loss to Aston Villa at home. Hugo Lloris started that downward
He
fall.
did, mate. That's awful,
Arsenal
man.
at home.
Again,
Hugo Lloris started the
twice.
downward fall.
At
Twice.
the Emirates and this time round.
Then at the Etihad tonight, comes out of the box out of nowhere when he shouldn't have been coming off his line at all.
Also, Morris beat him at the near post as well. Don't forget that, Will.
Yeah, twice. I mean, both first 2 goals should have been easy saves for Hugo Lloris.
He's done, man. He's cooked. We should have signed his replacement 2 years ago.
That's the fifth error leading to goal this season for Hugo Lloris.
Honestly, I would count it more than that.
Will,
I mean, I realize in the stats it's only 5, but for me, it's been 7 or 8. It's been 7 or 8.
I agree with Kieran and you. I tell you something about Lloris. This is the perfect analogy. He's been having too much vin rouge. He's been having too much French red wine, hasn't he, Lloris?
You know, honestly, he's been at this club for what, 10 years now?
Yeah, 10 years since Villas-Boas.
And he said in an interview, not last summer, but the summer before, that the club needed to look into signing his replacement and that he was looking forward to help, you know, train them, get them ready, and ease them into the job. He was looking forward to passing on the role. And he said that 2 years ago, and we still don't have anybody waiting in the wings to take over. And I mean, if he is having a little sip of that red wine before the game, I don't blame him, man. I don't blame him. This club will do it to you. It's making me drink, that's for sure. I hadn't had a sip of whiskey in like 3 months, and last week I had to have one because Spurs are just killing me.
Exactly, bro.
They're
Spurs
just
are
killing
killing
me.
you guys. It's been a slow death, man. That's the perfect analogy for Spurs.
And then too, you know, now granted, the third goal is the third goal, but Ivan Perisic, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Right? Or is that the second one? I mean, second one, you know.
Well, I mean, you know, he's up against Riyad Mahrez on that side. You know, he's got fucking Ben Davis sitting behind him for his defensive cover. We know Perisic isn't a defender. He's a forward converted into a wing back. His best qualities are on the ball.
He's a winger, man.
Well, I'm going to be unpopular here, and I know a lot of people are really pissed at Hugo right now, but I still don't think that Hugo's our biggest problem. I still don't think he's our biggest
But it's
problem.
part
I
of
know
the
he
problem,
fucked up.
though. He's cost you a lot of games.
No, I know he fucked up, but he's also saved us this season and saved us last season in games as well. So he is someone that needs to be replaced. We do need to work on his replacement. I think that his mentality is not the problem. I think he's exhausted. I think he's our stabilizing leadership force in the last 5 years, because we haven't had a manager that has been consistent throughout that time. And we haven't had really strong leadership during that entire time. There was dressing room in shambles, that entire time. And who was the most stabilizing force of leadership in that time? It was Hugo. So he is not our biggest problem right now. Yes, he's acting up, and he's probably he's exhausted. He's not as sharp as he used to be. He's old. It is what it is. But I mean, I don't think that digging in on Hugo, and I'm not going to die on my hill defending Hugo because he has been fucking up lately. But I'm digging in on Hugo, and I'm going to go into it later. But digging in on some other players, I think you probably have an idea of who I'm going to get at later.
But shouldn't you have
the
sold
biggest
him
problem right now? I don't think that that's the biggest problem, because our problem right now is the ownership. Our problem right now is Conte needing to be backed, and people going in on some of our better players, not even our shittiest players, is completely missing the lead here. It's distracting from what actually needs to happen.
I mean, I agree. I agree, Cubed, but I think at the same time, I think for Lloris, it's pointless to be going at him like, Carragher's on TV on Sky calling him a liability, and he may be at the moment. But the thing is, this guy has been a top servant of this club for years. He has been with us through the rise and fall of Pochettino and through the chaos of the last 4 years. And his replacement should have been signed 2 years ago. So I'm not going to blame him for not being able to keep up the standard at 36 years old. I mean, he knew he was on his way out 2 years ago. He was telling the club, the media, and the fans that was the case. I'm not going to blame this guy. He shouldn't be on the pitch, and that's what you're saying, Cube.
Bro,
and I think
but
that gets to the heart of it. Is a lot of these players. A lot of these players shouldn't be on the pitch
fault for not
in a
signing
Tottenham
the
shirt right now. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and
exactly.
What is the alternative? People are like, bench him. And I'm like, Forster is not a really good option. We don't have really good options.
It's not even about an option at this point. He's a liability. We have to take him off the pitch. I agree, Cubed, but he needs to, for the good of the team, he needs to sit, regardless of whether the replacement is better or not. You cannot, especially a goalkeeper. It's one thing with a forward who hasn't scored goals. It's another thing keeping a keeper out there when he's making mistake after mistake. It's terrible for his mentality. It's terrible for the rest of the team. It's terrible for the already terrible defense, because they feel like they can't trust him. He feels like he can't trust them.
Okay, Kieran,
and I'm not saying we're going to fix it, but don't make it worse by leaving him out there. You think that he's the liability for our defense? Hugo has been carrying all those defenders' asses. They're all liabilities.
Seasons they've been carrying.
This
season too. This season too. He's been carrying. He's left there completely out in the open. Dyer has been fucking up. Longley fucking up. They're fucking up over there.
Well,
and he has been carrying their asses, and he's completely open. Center backs are all over the place. Romero is there trying to do four players' roles.
I think
Hugo was open.
Hold on. I think hold on. The second goal, you could say Davies, the light deflection off his Davies boot made it difficult for Hugo at the near post, but I still think a goalkeeper needs to be protecting his near post better than he was. The first goal, though, Hugo should have never come off his line in that situation. There were too many guys on the far right side for him to come out. If he's not 100%, he's getting that ball. As a keeper, you don't come off the line with that many attackers in your box, in your 6-yard box. You just don't, right? That's goalkeeper 101. And then with the, I don't even really blame Longley for that last goal. because the angle of it, he was running at full speed. It just bounced off his hip. There's not a whole lot you can do as a defender there. Unless that maybe the only thing he could better have done is maybe head it out of the way, but he was having a hard time judging where it was going to come down on. And then with that, it is what it is. He's in on goal. You know, I don't blame Hugo for that fourth goal. And then at that point, it was a done deal anyway, right? So, yeah.
I disagree with you guys. Who picks his players? Conte, doesn't he? He's picking the same players that let the previous managers down in Dyers.
We don't have anybody else.
We don't have anybody else.
But again, Langley again, he didn't want him. But to be fair, he should have had like more awareness and like put the ball out of play. You know, instead of giving the opposition the ball. Like,
yeah, but he did. I mean, it's not like he gave them a ball. It literally, as he's trying to turn, it bounces off his hip. He didn't even make a play for the ball, really. It just kind of, he was tracking it in the air, and as he turned his head to get position, it just bounced off his hip. Like, it's not like
he misjudged it.
He just mistimed the turn. That was it. I mean, it wasn't a huge blunder. Yeah, it's a mistake.
It's an athleticism thing. It's a quality thing. It's not his. I don't think I agree with Will in that. I don't think there's anything he could have done in that instance. I think he's just a better center back would have judged the flight of the ball better, and a more athletic center back would have reacted faster. That's the thing. They're just not good. All of them are not good enough. The only one who is Romero. And so, and it's
even
not
Romero
like
had a screw up today.
Even Romero, bro, he's been letting you guys down.
Even Romero had a blunder today.
But like when you're a center back, you're playing as a unit, especially in a 3. And when you don't trust the other guys you're playing with, I mean,
who picks these players though?
But who else can he pick? I mean, he's rotated the 3
Longley was
every
a sub for Davies.
combination he can. Every combination of possible center backs has played for Tottenham this season.
We're going to play Sanchez over there on the left? No, thank you. I'd rather have
Longley. Doesn't Conte ask for more players?
That's the point. We know he doesn't get them. We did. We were supposed to sign. We were supposed to be in for 2 center backs in the summer, and we got Longley on loan. I mean, that's
he wanted 2 center backs, a center and a left, and the left one he wanted was Bastoni. Bastoni, for whatever reason, I can't say for sure it's a Levy thing, but whatever reason, Bastoni didn't come. But the answer was not to loan in a washed fucking Longley from Barcelona, whose career is in the dumps, and
let me bring in
as the answer.
Let me bring in the Canadian positivity master. This is the best Canadian music I got. I don't know why it's Canadian, but it is. They didn't have anything for Canadians, but it's all happy and chipper, just like our guest here. Scott M is in the house.
So much anger when I come in. I was shocked to hear C-Cube going on her big rant already. I said I'll come in and I'll provide the calmness and the positivity.
She brought the fire.
That's right. I mean, I'm not going to say anything different, but you can't say who chooses the players when the other options are terrible, right? That's when I say I don't blame Conte. It doesn't mean that I think that every decision he's making is great. It means that when he makes a decision and the other options are terrible, I don't that's hard for me to blame him when he's looking at 2 different terrible options.
So
that's why I don't blame him.
Let me give Pyrex an example, right? So when Arteta goes to Josh Kroenke and he asks for a player, right? And the job is to move a pile of sand, right? He asked for a shovel, right? And Josh Kroenke may not go out and get him the most expensive, backhoe that there is to get the job done, as like Rolls Royce type of a thing, but at least he buys him a shovel, right? When Conte goes to our board and asks for a shovel, Conte goes out and gets him one of those little kitty plastic ones, right? And says, "Here, move this giant pile of sand from there to there with this tiny little plastic kid shovel."
I get that, but he knew what he was getting into with Levy and Enoch, though. And Levy and Enoch don't pick the team. You know what I mean?
Right, but what if he doesn't pick the team, but we don't have any options? That's what I'm saying. Like, what if, right, Daniel Levy, Conte says, "Hey, look, I'll come and sign for you if you guys give me shovels." And Daniel's like, "Don't worry, we'll give you shovels." And he's like, "Okay, cool." So he signs the dotted line, right? And then when he shows up, like I said, he's expecting at least, go to Home Depot, get a quality, $15, $20 shovel, right? But then he shows up and Daniel Levy pulls out of his pocket this little kid, little sandcastle kit for kids. He's like, "Here you go." And Conte's like, what the hell? You told me you were going to give me a shovel. He's like, it's a shovel.
I mean, he did get you the shovels in Benton.
No, but he gets
Kulusevski.
Yeah, those two players were great. But you notice that happened in his first 6 months, right? Right after he got there in November, boom, go Kulusevski Bentancur, right? Then what's he go and get him in the summer? First thing, right off the bat, you want Perisic? I'll get you Perisic. He's on a free, right? Basuma, boom, right? Done, right? And then, right, it's Udoji and Spence and all these other young players.
And if we're lucky, we can get Dan James, and then Dan James didn't go through.
Gordon from Everton. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like we were going after that Tissar dude from Brighton for a while, right? Like we've been linked with him for a while. You know what Daniel Levy does? They want 20 something, right? He goes and offers them 12. You guys stepping off from 27. He's gone the next day, right? We got this Pedro Porro dude from Sporting Portugal or whatever, from Sporting wherever he's from.
Sporting.
And I always get it weird because I always want to say Sporting Lisbon, which is what everybody says, but it's Sporting Portugal is the name of the team. It's really odd, but they want 45 million euro. We're offering them 36 million. Don't have to pay us 50% on the Marcus Edwards sell-on fee. And we'll give you another defender. It's probably going to cost more than the extra 10 million euro that's there when you could just go drop it and get it done. Like, I don't understand. 10 million euro for a quality. Like, he's not world class or anything, but he's a quality. He's a right wing back that could come in and actually do a job for us. And we're bartering over 10 million euro. 10 million, that's like 7 million pounds. Right? 7 million pounds, and we're, here's a bag of crisps, and I'll give you a back rub, and maybe a little, happy ending now once or twice, right? Like, why can't we just, if you're going to spend 35, why can't you spend 45?
I mean, it's kind of hard, isn't it? But again, like, he's the problem, Daniel Levy.
Yeah.
He should have backed the previous managers, but the thing is, Conte should have knew what he was getting into, if you know what I mean. A more like side server, because like the football's not really improving with these guys, and you've been losing to shit teams, mate. This team you have now shouldn't be losing to Villa and getting dominated by Bournemouth and Brentford.
I mean, but to be fair to us, we didn't get dominated by Bournemouth and Brentford. We drew, right? So
we beat Bournemouth.
We beat Bournemouth and we drew with Brentford. The only team outside of the top four that we've lost to this season so far, right, minus Liverpool, right, who we lost to earlier on in the season, is Villa. Right? Everybody else we've lost to is in the top four right now. So, I mean, you could say it's bad, right, because of the performance that we're putting in. We look shaky. Although, and this is the thing, I was actually taking notes and getting receipts earlier in the day because the whole mantra is, we concede first, we come out slow in the first half. The first half was our better half, right? We played the best football in the first half, right? Yeah, they had a little bit more possession than us, but we controlled them, right? They didn't have a lot of shots on goal, a lot of shots on target. And it was City who came out in the second half and put us to bed in the first, scored 3 goals in 10 minutes, in the first 10 minutes of the second half. So, at least there was we lost, right? Everybody was predicting that we're going to lose 5-6-0 today, right? That didn't happen. And the only thing that, the only positivity that I saw is I saw a lot more pressing, a lot more intensity from our guys in the first 20 minutes than I've seen in a long time. So,
yeah.
And Emerson, man, probably had his best game in a Spurs shirt tonight.
I know. I was about to say. I was like, you said the only positivity you saw, and I was like, really?
But let's bring in
Emerson.
Somebody ducked out. Let's bring in the queen herself, Queen Ellie Hoijberg.
Hello, Will. How you doing? Hello, everybody. How you
Cheers,
doing?
Ellie.
Hey, Ellie.
Nice one.
Really?
I just want to add about Daniel Levy. He's just like a poisonous spider. You know, when a poisonous side bites you, right, you're going to die. And he's basically killed our club. He's basically killed us off. And there's no way we're going to recover unless that guy's gone.
100%.
Because everything he does turns to poison. Honestly, he doesn't bring anything good to the club. We've lost our DNA. We've lost the way we play, you know, our style of play. He's made Conte into a rubbish manager. How can Daniel Levy do that to Antonio Conte? All right, and I heard somebody say that he's not a serial winner because he's only won one Premiership, but at least he's won one. You know, there's lots of managers in the Premiership they haven't won. It's Pep Guardiola is cornering the market, isn't he? You see, so that's all I've got to say. I just don't like what he's doing at our club, and he's putting all the dampers on the transfers, penny pinching here, there, and everywhere, and we're not getting the players. Now Trossard's gone to Arsenal. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
See, I agree with you, but they got this comment here from Dale, and big up Dale for watching the show. But Scott, I told you this narrative was coming, didn't I?
Yeah.
I predicted it. We didn't steal those 2 goals from, and they didn't shackle us, and there's no way they could have scored 4 in the first half, right? It's not possible when you don't even have that many shots on target.
No.
you can't score 4 goals when you have 5 or 6 shots in the entire first half, and 4 of those are blocked, right? Like it's not possible.
The second one was scrappy, but the first one, like, that was a good
But
goal.
no, even the second one,
that goal.
Emerson, right? Beautiful position. That's where a wingback should be when your striker takes a shot.
Yeah.
Right? He was completely unmarked. Boom, header right in. That's not a cheap goal. That's good. That is a good goal. That's a good goal, right? Your wingback should be crashing the box after your striker takes a shot from wide, right? That's where that should be.
Yeah.
And the other thing is,
you're right.
I would say we were pretty evenly matched in the beginning of the first half, but by the last 10 minutes of the first half, 10, 15 minutes of the first half, we were peppering them. We were pushing hard and peppering them. We were pushing the entire time, but I mean, like,
the middle of the first half, I would say from about 20 minutes to 40 minutes was kind of all City, right? Like they were, they looked, they were getting a lot of guys forward. Yeah. They had 2 shots on target in the first half, so there's no way they could have 4 goals, right? That's just a silly narrative, right?
Yeah, and then
they could have out for us. They could have had 4 of us in the first half. No, they can't have 4 when they only have 2 shots on target.
No, I mean, the end of the first half, especially, we were peppering them.
And I'm sorry, this is why, and this is something I have a real agenda about. I think is that I feel like Pep Guardiola's dominance in the Premier League has fucking ruined people's ability to look at football in an objective sense rather than being so subjective about it. Because everybody loves the tiki-taka style. Everybody loves the dominating possession and watching them pass around. But they weren't threatening with most of their passing. Most of their passing did not phase us at all. Yeah. We were dropped deep and solid, compact into our defensive shape. We were disciplined, at least most of the first half. We were disciplined defensively. And they never really looked like scoring.
No,
they weren't even
7 total shots.
Stuff that much as they normally do.
Yeah, no, they
did it more than us. But if you watched a lot of their games this year where they've struggled, they've been way better in terms of control. They're just like they weren't looking even as good as they have this year when they're supposedly down. I don't think they were doing as much of that.
Even in previous games we've had, like one win or lose, this is the worst like City performance in that first half against Tottenham that I've seen. They were really bad.
I agree.
In my opinion. In the second half, of course, they were incredible. They blew us off the park. But in the first half, they looked poor to me.
Yeah, but we made them look poor.
Everybody has corners, man.
We made them look poor because we pressed them so well. I was watching the game at the restaurant, actually, with Bobby Kay and the rest of the crew, and we really did hassle them off the ball, and we pressed them up high, and we really put a lot of intensity into that first half, so we deserved the first half lead. But then their better football took toll in the second half. They are better footballers than us, and they can pass more crisply and faster. Their movement off the ball was better. that's where they got their 4 goals, because they are better than us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and with the first half, if you look at, yes, we were doing well in, as far as pressing, and we were the better team in my opinion in the first half. That being said, our first touch still poor.
Yeah.
Our first touch of our
Oh, no.
players still poor. And City starts to get the momentum going for themselves, then their first touch is class. When they are on, their first touch is good. When we are on, our first touch for a lot of our players is still ass.
The second and the third
difference.
touch
That's
is
how
pretty
you
good
know
as well.
that the technical quality is not the same.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, you know, I mean, we had 5 shots inside their box. They had 3, right, in the first half, right? They had, you know, they had 2 shots on target. We had 3, right? We scored 2 goals out of that. They had 7 total shots. We had 6, right? So yeah, they had more shots, but the majority of their shots were blocked, right? And that's what center backs are supposed to do. And that's why when people look at stats, you can't just look at total shots, because that includes block shots. It includes like Romero's shot that's 90 feet over the goal, right? Like those aren't chances, right? That matter, right? And like, yeah, they had 7 corners, but they didn't get any. We cleared most of those, right? That's what if you get a set piece,
We did.
right? You clear them, right? So it's not like they were dangerous for us, right? A corner kick's only dangerous if they get a shot on target, right? That's when a corner kick's dangerous. If we defend them well, we've played well. We've defended them well, right?
Where they're dangerous, right? Their intricate play and their movement off the ball is far superior to any other team in the league, even better than Arsenal. And Arsenal have been incredible this season, but they're even a step up from Arsenal, and they will probably catch Arsenal, I would imagine.
Yeah,
I hope they do.
I think they will. I think if you look at Arsenal's run in, their last 10, 12 games of the season are really tough, the hardest of anyone in the league. I think they'll drop a lot of points in February and March and April, and I think, yeah, I think City will catch up.
The 2 games they have left will be key, right? They play each other twice, so obviously that's going to be a big impact on the season.
I mean, that's 6 of the 9 points right there, right? That Arsenal has on them. Well, I guess it's not even 9 points anymore,
5,
is it?
now, isn't it?
5, yeah.
They're 5 points behind with a game in hand, Arsenal.
Yeah, but that one game in hand is with City.
Yeah.
And to be fair, we could have just given the City the jump start they needed to you know.
Yeah, I mean, we got to play City again,
you know?
in 7 days, right? So
yeah.
Maybe it's a little bit more than that. We play Monday night, and then I think we play Sunday. City of Sunday. I'm not. Correct me if I'm wrong, but at home on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean,
February 5th, I think it is.
It is on Sunday. My daughter's got a ticket for that game. I'm not going, but she's going, unfortunately. I think I'm going to try and nick her ticket, Will.
Yeah, but I mean, for me, look, like I don't think Hugo is our biggest problem right now. Obviously, there are other players I think need to be bought and purchased before we upgrade him. But I mean, what's showing is he can. I don't think he has it anymore to make up for their lack of ability. Right? Where in the past he could consistently cover their asses, right? And I think he's gotten to a point now where he can't consistently cover their asses anymore because it's too many this year.
Well, it's also not just the shot stopping, right? It's the fact that we're playing out of the back and in a system that likes to build slowly out of the back and then explode, you know, and that requires him to be good with his feet, to be disciplined, to be, you know, careful with his passing, and quick with it. And he's never been good with the ball.
The passing, I'm not the ball at his feet and him passing is not what's worrying me right now. It's the errors. It's the decisions he's making in his 6-yard box that are pissing me off.
Well, that one today is I feel like is really strange and really I feel like shows that there's something seriously.
I mean, why are you coming out when there's 2 City players to your right hand side, like right there?
And not only just that, but we know Hugo for staying on his line when he should be coming out.
Right.
And that's the situation in which he came off his line when he didn't have to. That's rare.
Yeah.
Usually it's the other way around, where he's glued to his line
And I
and
watched
a ball goes right past him.
I watched
that's
it
what I
back, and
thought
his
was weird,
lips
too.
never moved. He never, like Emerson got in his way a little bit. His lips never moved. He never called Emerson off, right? He literally just came out, right? And so yeah, Emerson kind of hit him after the play, keep preventing him from, doing whatever. But still, man, like you shouldn't. Maros was standing right there,
Yeah.
in his line of sight, and he just completely ignored it and tried to come out on Holland. Like, it's almost like he was scared that Holland was gonna get a shot there, right? But there were defenders there, right? There were guys there.
But he doesn't trust them.
Yeah.
That's
And then you
the
got
thing.
Romero too on that Holland header. He completely loses Holland.
I
Kieran,
don't know what
I
he was
think you'll
doing.
have
He's
to get
moving
another
towards the
bottle
ball.
of
He's never
whiskey,
gonna
my
get
boy.
Yeah,
Huh?
I think I will. I think I will.
Yeah. You'll have to get another bottle of whiskey in because I think more damage is coming.
I really think we should just. I mean, I understand that he's not the main problem. All of this stems from how bad our center backs are. All of it
You got
They
stems
Beal.
really
from
are.
Dyer, Davis, Longley. I mean, and yes, Longley as well. I mean, a lot of people I think have been too easy on him. He's made a lot of defensive mistakes, and I
Yeah.
understand those other guys are bozos. But let's be honest, he was not good at Barcelona. There's a reason he failed. He started in that 7-2 game against Bayern Munich, so it's. I just I don't know. I think that we should pull him though, because I think if we keep playing him, the mistakes are going to keep happening. And I think he needs to at least sit out 1 or 2 league games to try and get his head right. And maybe he'll come back and we bring him back in. Hopefully, he'll steady out. But I think he needs to sit at least 1 league game.
So I'm gonna get
I
on
don't
my.
know. I don't know if he can.
I want my little rant out now, okay? Because I just got a response on Twitter that is literally related to this.
Go
So here's my thing, okay? After the game, okay, we had a number of mistakes from, various individuals, whatever, right? But people are digging out Hugo the most, and they're digging out Sonny. It's not Sonny's fault that two
Yeah, I don't know why
goals-
Son's involved in it.
2 goals were scored, and also not Sonny's fault that 4 goals were conceded. Neither of those things are his fault. Sonny, I admit, okay, he is off form. He did not play well, in my opinion, today. Okay, he was not on it. Okay, I recognize that. But everybody is effing losing the byline. They're losing the lead here. Even people who are back Conte and Enoch out and Levy out people. Are you effing kidding me? You think that going off on Hugo and how terrible he is, or Sonny and how shitty he is, that is really going to help you with your narrative that it's not Conte's fault? It is not going to help you with your narrative that it's not Conte's fault and that Conte should be backed. The reason why is because Conte backs Hugo and Conte backs Sonny, and he is not wrong to back them. They are some of our better players. So if you say that Sonny is the problem, he is off form, but if you think that he's the biggest problem and it's his fault that we lost this game and that game and all these games, then you're basically completely distracting from this whole thing that you're trying to do, which is back Conte. It's not Conte's fault. It's Enoch and Levy's problem.
Also,
you're completely distracting it.
Also, we're the 3rd highest scoring team in the league. The attack is not the issue. We score crazy goals. We score goals. Like, we're scoring goals. The attack is not the problem. It's
Yeah, but
just
people's
god
comments
awful
are always
defense.
that the majority of those, over half of those come from 3 games, right? So that's their counter argument, which is true, right? But it means that when we're playing teams, I mean, we put 2 past City tonight, and I'm sorry, but anybody who says that those were fluke goals, they weren't, right? They all came from transitions and buildups, right? Every single one of them, right? None of them were, except for maybe the first one with the bad pass, right? But we were there. And for me, the funny thing about Son today is I don't understand why people are on Sonny's case at all today. Not only was he not playing, he was playing he was the highest up the pitch, right? It was Son, Kane, Decky, right? We were building through Decky on the right. Son was high on the far left, more central than normally. Kane was in between, right?
Yeah.
Even because you could see it on defense. Who was the first one to drop him back? Son was having to come from a lot farther up, right? He didn't give the ball away a lot. He only lost possession 5 times out of 30 times that he touched it, right? And he built up plays. Like, I don't know if you guys remember in the last 10 minutes of the game, that ball, that kind of like behind the back, no look pass down into, Decky or Richarlison, whoever it was that was running. I can't remember. That was a beautiful ball. Like, you can't do anything if you're not on the ball. And there was many times, I should go through the game and count them, right? Because I know I'm going to end up having this argument this week. How many times Bentancur and or Kulu were on the ball on the right wing and Son was in 6 yards of space, just waiting to make a run. All they had to do was just put that ball on a plate for him and he would have been inside behind our city's back line.
You're right. Well, there was a specific passage of play where Bentancur brings the ball out into midfield and he passes to Decky expecting him to take it in stride and keep moving with it. And then, and Decky just stops. And because he stops, he's not able to hit Son's run. And he was in, acres of space wide left. And Decky normally could hit a cross-field ball. But, Son, if he had took the ball in stride and kept moving, he could have hit a cross-field ball to him. But because he stopped, Son then continues runs offside.
There's a hierarchy.
Harry Jackson. I want to ask Harry Jackson. You should come on the show sometime and we can go over Son's stats and see if what you're saying is true. Every stat metric points to Son being in severe decline. That is not true. He has more shots this season per 90 than he did last season, right? He has, as far as like SCA and GCA is comparable to last season. So I don't know what you mean by every metric. The only metric that is down right now is his finishing. Right?
He's only like
so
3-4 goals
you
behind
look
what
at the stats more thoroughly than me, right? And he's only 3 goals off of his pace from last season.
Yeah.
I'd like to know what stats you're looking at more thoroughly. It would be great if you're a stat guy and you want to come on and debate the stat master.
He's had Son, like I said, he's been off it, but Son has had bright spots in every game. Okay, even the North London Derby game, he actually had, he put a beautiful ball into Perisic that Perisic should have put away, and then yelled at Perisic because Perisic just completely missed it.
Put it on the plate for him.
Yeah, and so he's had bright spots in nearly every game. That being said, like I said, Sonny is off form. Are we missing his goals? Absolutely. Yes, we are absolutely missing missing his goals. We would do a lot better if he was contributing goals. Absolutely. That being said, again, he is not our biggest problem.
Not less shots on target.
The fact that everybody keeps focusing. Everybody is focusing on those things.
Hold on. Big chances missed. So less goals. Yes. Less assists. Yes. Right. Less shots on target. False. More big chances missed. Yes. Right. That happens to be missing shots. Right. Less successful dribbles / crosses. I don't know. I'd have to look. More possession loss. False. Right. That's false. I can show you if you want me to. You want me to add them to the stream? We can do it. You want to go over? Nobody wants to do that, but we will if you want me to. That's why I'm saying, Harry Jackson, if you want to come up, we'll make a special show. And we can look on it. We can look at it. Right. This is today, right? 29 touches. That's all he had. 87% passing accuracy. Long balls, 1 for 1. Grounds and aerials duels weren't that great. Possession loss. He only lost the ball 5 times today. Right? Yeah. Dribble pass once.
I mean,
Son and Kane have nobody creating for them. Okay, they have nobody. They have no chances right now. And our backs, because our defenders are so afraid to come out because they know that they're too effing slow to track back. They are so afraid that they have our back pinned against the wall. So if your back is pinned against the wall as a defender, then that is forcing your attackers to also track back and them to be further, down the pitch so that they cannot get up to the box to score. That is what's
Slow
going
being
on.
the operative word there, C cubed. Slow as ass. I'm faster
So
than them,
slow.
and I'm 60 years old.
So I just want to say, so people in the chat know I'm not capping, as the young folks like to say. This is shots on target per 90. What does that say? 1.46 per 90. What year is that? This year. So don't tell me that he has less shots on target per 90 than he did last season, because you're wrong.
You're wrong, Harry Jackson. Go back in your box.
All right. 21-22 season is right here. It's 1.44 to 1.46. So it's the same as, if you really want to get down to the nuts and bolts. Right? But I'm 0.2 right.
And those who are wanting to like drop him or bench, fine. Honestly, to me, I'm like, I'm not even totally opposed to dropping him or benching him in a general sense, because I recognize he's off form. But who are you going to replace him with? We have nobody on the bench that is good enough. We literally have nobody that is better than Son currently, an off form Son that is better than an off form Son that is on the bench. And whose fault is that? That is Levy and Enoch's fault.
We're going to replace him with an
why are we talking about benching and dropping Son? It is just distracting from the narrative.
Yeah.
We're going to replace him with an off-form Richarlison, because for some reason only our top players get criticized, but
recovering
our
from
players
injury
have to be
too.
thrown in there.
Oh, and by the way,
everybody in the chat saying Richarlison, 0 goals, hasn't done anything all season long. Yes, I see you saying Richarlison, Mohan.
He scored 2 goals against
mind
Marseille
you.
and scored a nice goal in the World Cup. He's also had 2 injuries in the last 2 months.
So
if this was Brazil, that's great. You can go.
I want to show you the
Brazil.
key passes.
No,
so he does have less key passes than he did last year, but not by a lot, right? And he's had more than he had in 18, 20, or the previous seasons before that. Right? So that's passes that lead to a shot. Right, and you look at balls into the final third, he's just behind what he was last year by 0.91, right? So passes into the penalty area, he is 0.91 compared to last season is 1.26, right? It's a little bit lower, but not much, right? It's very consistent in all of these things. Crosses into the penalty area, again, 1.012 compared to 1.0, same as last year, exact same, right? So when you said that, let's see what your exact words were, because I don't like to misquote people. Right here. Every stat metric points to Son being in severe decline. Right? This is not temporary. I've just proven you false. Right? Progressive balls coming in from last season, right? 23 to 22. It's what? 0.3 per 90 less.
I wouldn't call any of this severe
So
decline.
the other thing
none of
is
it's severe decline, except for his assists per 90, his assists per 90 are about half, right? But when you look at his SCA, goal and shot creation, right, it is 62, because when you look at the number of touches that he's had, it's about half. He's gotten the ball half as much as he's gotten it last year.
Yeah.
So I want to say, so those who are saying Richarlison, okay, your memory is short. Okay, you're saying, oh, just give him a shot. We gave him a shot.
See, look, I want people to look at this. Okay, this is the number of touches he had last season. Let's go look at per 90. Right? He's receiving the ball far less than he did last season. Right? He's only receiving the ball. He's only averaging 41 touches per game, whereas last year he averaged 45.8.
Because we got nobody creating. We got nobody setting him up.
And in the attacking third, where it matters the most for creating the things he's doing, it's almost his second lowest season ever.
Yeah, look at that.
How many tap-ins? How many tap-ins has Sonny received? How many sitters has he actually received? He has not gotten sitters this season.
And
it's
you
not
know
like
what?
he's missing easy shots. That's not what's going on. But even regardless, I want to respond to people that keep saying Richarlison, oh, just give him a shot, give him a chance. You know, no, we gave him a chance. It's not like we didn't. Your memories are short. We gave him a chance. a couple of months ago, and he was bad. It's not like we didn't try dropping Son for Richarlison. We tried that, and Richarlison was bad. Richarlison has less goals in the Prem. He has 0 goals in the Prem, and he has the same amount of goals as Son in Champions League, and he has overall less goal contributions than Sonny does. And you can say, oh, he has less minutes.
But it's the same as this.
We tried to actually, we have less minutes, but we did try to drop Sonny for Richarlison. And that didn't end up going well. And if you are saying that, you know, oh, he was good at the World Cup, he was playing a different position. He was playing center forward. He was playing a striker position.
Hold on. 0.3 per game is not huge, okay? Because the thing is only 1 or 2, right?
A third of an action.
A third of an action, right? That means out of every 3, right? It's one less.
3 games, it's 1 less. Yeah, that's not.
It's not a lot. This is per 90, okay? Over a season, that can add up to a lot, right? But right now, we're talking if you score, if you, yeah. And then your other comment was, you know, key passes. He's only been on corners for 2 years. It's actually been 3 years that he's been on corners. He's been on corners ever since Eriksen left. But you're right, but it's the same as last season. So it's not a severe decline. Severe decline is like 50% decline. But that's a severe decline. 40%, 30%. But when you're talking 0.3% decline?
Hold on,
Well,
Liam, what am I clueless about? Tell me what I'm clueless about if you think I'm clueless. I am responding to people who want to bench Son for Richarlison. And I am saying that Richarlison is not good enough. If you just said, I looked back, okay, I didn't look at what you were saying previously. I looked back and you're saying that it is for the sake of Son to bench Son, to like jumpstart him because it happened before. That's fine. Like I said, I don't mind benching him if we have a better option. But are you willing to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to play a Richie who has even less, you know, of a contribution than Son. I'm going to play a Hill that has even less of a contribution than Son, just to by chance say, you know, maybe we can bench, you know, we can jumpstart Son. Fine. If that's what you think, then that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I'm just saying that people are thinking that we have better options than Son, which we do not. And that is not Sonny's fault. That's only the fact that we haven't bought anybody. That's that much better.
Okay, well, for the people in the comments, let me provide a little bit of let me push back on some of the things you said. So I think in terms of Richarlison, for one, most of the games he did start or play for us, he has played at right wing while Decky's been injured. He's not a right winger. He's weak on his left foot. He's much better on his right foot. He needs to play on the left, but primarily he should be playing as a striker. He is number 9. That is his position. And I don't understand why we went out and spent 60 million on a backup number 9 to play out of position at winger instead of buying a fucking right wing back or a center back like we really needed in the summer. But, you know, everybody said it was a great window. But anyway, let me not get off track here. So Richarlison. So, yeah, mostly played at right wing, not his position, way out of position, or left wing, which he can play, but is still not his position.
Yep.
Especially in the way that Conte wants his wingers, which are really more like a left and a right attacking midfielder than a true winger. He wants them to play in a way that is not conducive to Richarlison's skill set whatsoever. Richarlison needs to play as a striker. So in my opinion, I've been saying this for a while. I know we did it. There were times we looked good in it, times we didn't. But I've really stuck with this. I think we should just play it and stick with it, and we'd get better if we just played the 3-5-2 and had Kane and Son, or Kane and Richarlison, or Richarlison and Son up top, where they have much more space to operate in. The reason we don't play this formation is because of our wingbacks being fucking shit. I get that, but I say just stick Perisic and Decky at left and right wing back and let them fly, and just keep 2 midfielders deep at all times to help cover the defense and cover the wide areas behind them. I mean, I think that Richarlison, I think as a striker, is a good option. But
I agree.
I think dropping Son to play Richarlison on the left wing, look, it's fine. We can try it, but it's not the answer. It's not. He's not going to score 5-6 goals from left wing when he's never scored more than 10 from any position in the league. It's not happening.
Yeah,
So,
and
I mean,
and
we
he's
can
not.
do it. I don't think it's wrong to necessarily do it, considering Son's performance, and honestly, the amount of games he's had coming quickly back from injury. I'm totally fine with dropping, rotating, whatever Son. But yeah, Richarlison is not going to pull up trees at left wing. He's just not. If we want to get the most out of him, he's got to play his position as a striker.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you, Kieran, and that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that we don't have a better option, and I'm not shitting on Richarlison when I'm saying that. I'm saying that he has not exemplified that he is able to have a better output than Son in that specific position. So that's what I'm getting at. And when we did try, because people are acting like, we didn't try. No, we did try. Okay, we dropped Son and started Richarlison that time that Son bounced off the bench. Okay, Son was injured leading up to the World Cup. Richie had come back before the World Cup, and he was playing in Son's position during that time, and he did not do a good job. So my point is that it's not a solution, and people are just keep on me. We just need to get Son off of the pitch.
This is a dumb conversation because Richarlison has absolutely done nothing to deserve Son's spot, and I just want to kill this Harry Jackson guy off once and for all. Okay. Your argument is that Son has been on corner kicks the last 3 seasons, right? So from 2020 to 2021 to now, right? Which is what you'll see here: the key pass, the jump in his key pass statistics, this to this, right? His key passes are down by how many? Let's round this up. So what, 2.5 ish? Right?
0.25, you mean?
0.25 or 0.35? Right. So it's what, 9. We 10,
It's
11, 2.7, right? Down
0.27.
Down 0.27, right?
Yeah.
Per 90, right? Key passes. So 0.0, so down 30% from last season. But let's look at the number of corner kicks that he's actually kicked here. What's the difference between the corner kicks and that, right? So available corner kicks. About the same. Right? The difference between this and this, maybe not exactly. This one is what, 2.7, right? 0.27.
Yeah, the same. It is the same. 0.27. Yeah.
So he's taking less corner kicks. But it's actually getting more exactly because Paris is just taking some of them as well. And key passes reflect his decline in key passes reflects his decline in the number of corners that he's taking. So are his key passes down from last season? Yes, but you can see that here, right? In his XA, right? XAG, right? That the difference is what? 2% difference. Right, his assists minus his expected assist is 2% different from last season. 2% per 90.
Severe decline.
Not severe decline. 2% down. Now I want you to see something else. Right? This is passes into the final third, right? It's 1% difference. 1% decline of passes into the final third. Passes into the penalty area, right? That would be including corners, right? And it's the exact same, right? 0.27%-ish. Right? This is with 3.3. Crosses. This is not penalty. This is not corner kicks. What's the difference between 2022 and 2023? Nothing. Right? So don't tell me there's a severe decline and you got the numbers. You've looked at the numbers more thoroughly than I have. You have not. I have spreadsheets covering Son's career for the past 7 years. Spreadsheets on spreadsheets. But man, like I said, if you want to come on the show and have a debate sometime about it, You're looking at percentages, my man. Let's look at percentages per 90, bro. Dribbles per 90. Let's see. Possession.
Let me also say that part of the difference in Son's performance is, again, has to do with Conte trying to force his tactical ideas onto the players more this season than he did last season. Last season, he was trying to finish as high as possible with the squad he had while implementing some of his ideas. He had very little time with these players. This, he's had a full off season. He's had this season with these players. He's trying to implement more of his ideas. And that includes keeping Harry Kane up top. He doesn't want him dropping back as much. He wants him in the box. And because Harry Kane's not dropping deep to receive passes as much, he's not playing through as many of those through balls and those balls over the top in behind that he was getting to Son the past few seasons. Son is not allowed to just freely play off the shoulder of a defender and run in behind this season. That is not his role in Conte's system, in the 3-4-2-1, 3-4-3, whatever you want to call it. His role now is he has to play with his back to goal more. He has to combine with the wing back, the center mid more. He has to help build up possession. He has to carry the ball more through the midfield. He has to do so much more. So much more is expected of him in this system that a lot of it doesn't really suit his skill set all that well. He's struggling with essentially learning a new position.
Well, not only that too, but yes, it is true, right? That his successful dribbles is down by 30-something%, right? Almost half, right? A little bit higher than half. Down 35, 37, 38, 39%. I'm not doing the math. I'm just looking at the numbers. But I want you to look at the attempts per 90 compared to last year. It's also down, right? You got 1.53 successful to one, averaging a little bit less than one successful dribble per 90. Right. So if you're basically receiving it 1.5 times less, right, that's almost half that number. Right. If you're attempting 40% left and you're a little bit less than half, yeah, his dribbles are down a little bit. But so is the total number of dribbles. So is the total number of times he's touching the ball. So is the total number of times. When you look at his progressive carries from last year to this year, it's not that much different, and it's not much lower or worse than any other season that he's had, right? Like if you're looking at, this is the least successful, but you're looking at dispossesses. Let's look at the number of times he's been dispossessed, right? It's not his worst. It's not even his third worst. It's his fourth worst season with getting dispossessed or missing the ball. Number of times a player failed when attempting to gain control of the ball. Not his worst season. Right.
So, and then people in the chat that are saying like, what is this Son obsession? Okay, go back and look at the live chat. Okay.
No, that wasn't your point. Hold on. I'm sorry. It's not your point, Harry Jackson. You said a severe decline. You said severe decline. The only thing that's severe declined is his finishing. It's not even his worst season in that. Sorry, keep going. I'm done with you, Harry Jackson.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just saw Thomas in the chat. I'm sorry if we missed some of your comments, man. We got a lot of comments that come through, and we're also trying to keep up the flow of discussion and everything. I see you said here, though, Conte with Inter Milan won the league and played exciting football with a good defensive line. And I agree completely. I really like Conte. I like his style of football. So I think that I love that Inter Milan team. I loved watching them. And they mostly played out of the 3-5-2, which is another reason why I believe he should be trying that here. I understand he typically likes the 3-4-3 in the Premier League, especially because he likes playing Son, Kulusevski, and Kane all together, or Son, Richarlison, Kane, whatever combo. He likes having the three forwards, but I honestly think that it'll make a huge difference to this team in some of our play if we can successfully implement the 3-5-2.
Well, the reason
at
why
least
he-
for our forwards, at least for Kane and Son and Richarlison, I think we'd get more out of our forwards using a strike partnership instead of a front three.
So when Conte was reviewing his tactics, towards the beginning of the season, and why he actually plays the 3-4-3 and how he's built the team around that, is because he actually specifically did say that he has built it around the strikers, which he was calling strikers, which are Kane and Son. But he needed somebody to take some of the pressure off of them and create, because we did not have a creative midfielder. So he brought in Decky. So as a result of that, he's like, I have to play that 3 up top in order to have somebody to create up there, Decky, to be able to fully, utilize Son and Kane's quality. And if he had stronger defenders, then, or a creative midfielder, he wouldn't have to do that then.
Yeah, or a good attacking right wing back. Yeah.
Yeah, he wouldn't have to do that. He has set it up that way because he is trying to exploit the quality of Kane and Son, but he wouldn't have to exploit it in that way if he didn't have weaknesses on the other side of the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, and I think there are ways that he could compensate for that in the 3-5-2, but who am I to, disagree with him on that? I just think the bottom line is all of these players, Kane, Son, Richarlison, all of these players, Bentancur, Romero, will play better when we get the absolute shit rotten deadwood out of this club. When we get the likes of Sessegnon, Davies, Dyer, Emerson, Sanchez, when we get these guys out of the club, when we replace Lloris, when we do these things, all of those players that we've talked about, especially Son, will perform better. They just need not competent pieces around them. They don't even need world-class talent. They're all good enough themselves. We just need people who are fucking competent, who are solid, who are of the required quality for this level of football. And these guys are so far below it at this point. And it's been so long, and it's become so painfully obvious now that they are the problem. The players who have been here for years, rotting away in our defense, got to get them out. We have to get them out. And that'll change a lot. But honestly, the way it's looking, guys, it's probably not going to head that way. We're probably not going to replace a lot of these players, and it looks like Conte might be out the door. So this could all be a moot point, really.
I got one more guest to bring in. Big up, Elias. What's going on, my man?
Hey, Elias, what's up?
Hey guys.
Don't look
How's
very
everyone?
happy today. What was your thoughts on the loss today?
I think I had very less expectations going into the game, but the first half raised some expectations and then we got disappointed again. So we need to change the back line, definitely. The back line is utter dross right now. I mean, we can't do much if we have that back line going forward. And I think one other thing, like we were just discussing, Conte has proved the point that you can actually play attractive football. I think the game itself was not a boring game to watch. The players were playing kind of like an attacking, attractive football. But then again, the attractive football doesn't necessarily win you points. You need goals to win points, and that was not coming. Or you need clean sheets to actually get points. We got none of those in the end.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you, man. And again, this is the only metric by which he's down right now compared to any other season is his finishing, right? His goals to shots on target. To be honest with you, he's now normal, right? So he went from exceptional in this, right? We're talking only 2 or 3 people in the world better to now being equivalent with Harry Kane. So I'm just saying, right? Harry Kane shoots a whole lot more than Son does, but you're looking at the goals per shot on target, right?
So I want to speak a little bit to the Conte's tactics things, because people keep saying that Conte plays ugly football and very defensive football. Okay. And, but, it gets the results, and now it just stopped getting the results. I don't know what people are talking about. we had pretty nice looking football last season. It wasn't just getting us the results. It was also pleasing to the eye football when we were actually playing well. I think that what happens also is that not only is he forced to play the way that he is playing because of how shy our players are, especially our back line, but also he is literally telling them to not play that way. If you ever see Conte on the touchline, he is repeatedly yelling at Eric Dyer to get forward. You can see his lips moving and hear him say, Eric, forward, forward, Eric, forward, forward. I've literally watched his Conte cam touchline stuff actually showing it that he is yelling at Eric to get forward. And, that means that Conte is not trying to have them, be sitting back and back to the goal and trying to really defend deep. That means that he wants them to push forward. It's just that our players are not confident enough and not skilled enough to actually push forward. It's not Conte. It's not Conte.
And they're just slow. They're so slow. They can't. These center backs, with the exception of Romero, and Sanchez has the pace. He just doesn't have the quality. But with the exception of those two, all of these guys are so slow. Longley, Davis, Dyer, they're all absolute fridges. They're slow. They cannot track players back. They cannot play a high line. They just can't do it. And typically what Conte likes to do defensively is he likes to press with 3 or 4, usually the front 3 plus a midfielder or a wing back. You press with those in the opposition half. As the ball crosses midfield, you drop into a mid block, not a low block, a mid block. And then you try to, dominate the wide areas and force them to turn the ball over, and then you counterattack, or you can play back and build up again. But he's not able to do that with these players, because they constantly retreat back because they're terrified of attacking players with pace, running in behind and balls over the top, because they don't have the quality to track the balls and they don't have the pace to keep up. And you just can't play attacking football without good defenders, unless you're fine with conceding a ton of goals. Because the thing with attacking football is, if you play attacking football without shit defenders, then you're Southampton under Ralph Hasenhüttl, and you're gonna ship 8-9 against really good teams. If you play it with good defenders, then you can be Man City. You can be Liverpool when you have that quality in defense and midfield. We don't have it. We just don't have it. So regardless of how he wants to play, they're going to retreat either way. And he's trying to tactically deal with that. But it's tough. He can't force his system on these players the way he wants to. And he can't change the players. The board isn't buying him the players he needs. So, I don't know exactly what people expect him to do. And you hear stuff like go to a back 4. And I'm just... did we all just forget how terrible Eric Dyer was in a back 4 in a center back pairing under Jose Mourinho, and how many individual errors he had during that stretch of games? But also that you want to take these terrible center backs, give them less numbers, less coverage, less players to shield and support them. You're going to leave us wide open at the back. We're already open playing defensively. It doesn't make any sense. Because if we do that, we're accepting mid-table, no European football. If we play open the way some people want us to with this defense, we're gonna see some big defeats, and we're not doing anything this season.
Yeah, but just got some housekeeping things to do. If you're watching over on WillStewart365, don't go anywhere. When I send everybody from there to here, all you have to do, if you have autoplay on, You don't have to do anything. It'll automatically bring you over to Tottenham Away so you can finish watching the stream. And or you can just, it'll pop down a button. It'll say, do you want to go? And just click go, right? And you can keep the night going on with you. But we're going to keep doing this for a while. WillStewart365. That's where we start the show. That's where we start the show. But we ended over on Tottenham Away. So come over there and hang out with us. And everybody else, we're continuing to go on for at least another hour, maybe more if the conversation looks good. So folks over at WillStewart365, just stay where you are and this you'll automatically pop over. Boom. All right.